This used to be the 6th grade year that happened. Now it's like the 5th grade year.
Yeah.
Did anybody happen to see Mr. Garcia? Okay, this last presentation, it starts off kind of slow, and you got to listen very carefully to understand what's going on. But it picks up at the end, and it should be very entertaining for you. Oh. All right. So yeah, enjoy this one.
When you're planning a revolution, there's often a lot of disagreement. While everybody can work towards the same goal, there are many things that can lead to different ideas. In this play, we see how people working towards the same goal can have arguments about how, when, and why to do something. In this presentation, we also see how two ideas can come together and clash. The issue of women's rights and the abolition of slavery both fought for the same ideas. Some people thought that they should be separate and would oftentimes work against each other. Please listen closely to the story as it takes us to many different places and introduces a lot of important people, including Frederick Douglass, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Sojourner Truth, and Lucretia Mott.
Lucretia Mott, a Quaker minister, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton began their plans for the Women's Rights Convention. They were there to attend the World Anti-Slavery Convention, but at this abolition convention, women were allowed to speak or be seated as members.
The two women decided a convention needed to be held to talk about the social, civil, and religious rights of women. 8 years later, the convention is about to begin at a church. Only the church is locked.
Are you alright? Yeah, piece of cake. Good. As long as they're not give you all the cake you want. Promise? On my honor. Elizabeth, we can't find the key anywhere. I can't believe it. What? The last key in the town.
Bull! Hundreds of people are waiting under the hot sun. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. The church should be open. People should be sitting down. I just see it in newspaper right now. How can Elizabeth Stanton and Lucretia Mott say that women should have the same rights as men? They hold a convention for women's rights, but only nobody can get into the building where it's supposed to be held.
Don't worry. My name is Susan. You'll listen.
I just wish I had a niece instead of a nephew. I'd rather have a female sibling.
I heard that. Nothing personal. I don't know. It sounds like she's trying to take away my rights. Now, you never heard that. We don't want to take anybody's rights. We just want some of their own. So as long as I don't have to cook, clean, and take care of the baby. Haven't you heard? It's the easy way.
That first day, the Declaration of Rights and Sentiments was signed by 68 women and 32 men. This declaration of women's equality was based on the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed to their Creator with certain inalienable rights.
That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, the governments are instituted, directed, and just powers, and the consent of the government. On the second day of the convention, a list of resolutions will be read and voted upon.
There must have been 300 people at the meeting today. We just put that one notice at the Centennial Falls newspaper. Think if we advertised it in the New York City paper, or in Boston.
We're off to a good start. It's too bad Thomas Jefferson and the rest of the founding fathers left us out of the Constitution.
It is a good start, and tomorrow we vote on a resolution.
Elizabeth, I want to talk to you about one of the resolutions.
Oh, which one? That any law that works against the church and subsidy happiness is no law at all?
No.
It is the one that says no law should prevent women from occupying such a decent society as unconscious to dictate or make convert to men.
You know which one I...
It must be the resolution that says disabled men. Resolution 9, my favorite.
It's a question of vote. It's too early to present that. We'll have to work up to it. We can't do or undo everything in one convention.
How can you change any laws if we can't vote? How can President Speakers or any Senate of a House of Representatives speakers if they have not received our votes? We can't have a public office. We can't sit on juries. As married women, we aren't allowed to take care of our own money and property. If we divorce, our children are taken away from us.
I know what women can and cannot do, Elizabeth. All right, well, women to have the vote. What we vote tomorrow when we vote on the resolutions. What if your favorite resolution doesn't get passed? What if women vote against the right to vote?
I'm not going to right to vote, then how can they believe we deserve any other right?
All right, we'll put Resolution 9 up for tomorrow. Be prepared. It may not pass.
It will. We'll see.
The next day, the convention got quickly down to business. When we joined the convention, 8 resolutions had been voted on, all 8 passed unanimously. Not one single person in the church had voted against any of them.
But now, Elizabeth Cady Samuel will read her favorite resolution, resolution number 9, calling for the right of women to vote. The upcoming votes making the crowd restless. They begin to talk and argue among themselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not time to vote on resolution number 9. Asking that women be given the right to vote. Ladies, given voting on legislative law, how does it feel to have that power?
Excuse me, Ms. Stanton, I believe we're making a mistake including the others in the resolution. It will look ridiculous to the rest of the world.
Ridiculous? Why?
We're asking too much too fast. Women need to prepare themselves.
George Washington need time to prepare himself to vote? Thomas Jefferson?
Now, Ms. Stanton, that's different.
Indeed. How is it different? Forget about the vote. Move on to the next resolution.
I second that. Mr. Garris is right. If we pass a resolution, it is us who look ridiculous. If we don't pass a resolution, it's Elizabeth who will look ridiculous.
There are worse things than looking ridiculous. Miss Stanton, Mr. Garrison, if you allow me.
Good. Explain the situation to her, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, please explain.
Ladies, do not be fooled. You may be told you need to be taught to learn how to vote. You may be told that having the vote will not change your lives. You may be told you'll never get the vote because you cannot make up your minds. You're not smart enough. You shouldn't worry your heads about making such hard choices. You cannot make such hard choices. I was born a black man. I've had hard choices since the day I was born. You were born women. Think of the choices that have been taken away from you. Think of the choices that you had to make in your own lives. I don't want to be a white man. I'm pretty sure that none of the women here want to be a white man. No offense, Mr. Gershon. But we want the same rights as the white men have. That includes having the right to vote. Miss Stanton, will you read the resolution so we may vote on it?
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Resolved, that it is the duty of women of this country to secure themselves the sacred right to elect a franchise. All in favor, raise your hands. All right, all against, raise your hand. The ayes have it. It's our duty to secure the vote.
But it passed by such a narrow margin.
A very narrow margin.
You call it a narrow margin, I call it a majority.
The first Women's Rights Convention ended the next day. Many people made fun of the convention and what had been accomplished. Some of the senators of the declaration took their names off it, but other women's rights conventions were held.
One of the speakers at the National Convention in Massachusetts was Sojourner Truth. After hearing women talk on subjects ranging from wearing bloomers to receiving equal pay, Truth said,
Sisters, I'm not clear what you're after. If women want any rights more than they got, why don't they just take them and not be talking about it?
Born enslaved, but now every woman, Sojourner Truth wanted to hear and talk about the hard problems that women face. Some people worry that Sojourner's stand on abolition will hurt the women's rights cause. Some people who support the women's rights cause will be turned up at her anti-slavery talk.
But Sojourner continued to speak out on both issues. She traveled. The crowds were often unfriendly, and her life was sometimes in danger, but this didn't stop Sojourner from attending a women's rights convention in Akron, Ohio.
God-fearing woman, leave this place now.
Oh, shut up and leave yourself. You women should all be ashamed of yourselves. Now go home and take care of your families.
That's right. That's why God created you.
Ladies and gentlemen, order please. As you know, we're here at this convention to discuss about women issue rights. Why is it that we live in a free land but women are prohibited from voting?
You ask why? The answer is obvious. Men have a superior intellect. That's why.
Besides, Christ was a man. That obvious means man to be favored.
Now, ladies are supposed to be protected from the unpleasantness of public life. They're supposed to be treated with kindness, help take care and take to all the best places.
At this, Sojourner rose and approached the podium. She had a very strong sense of right and wrong and could not bear to be set up when faced with injustice.
Miss Gates, don't let that woman speak. Miss Gates, you can't let her speak. She'll confuse the issue of women's rights with abolition. We can't have a black woman just a convention, not here in Ohio. There is no way.
No, don't let her speak.
We can't have a black woman coming in here and telling us what to do.
Oh, shut up and sit down.
If Sojourner Truth wants to address this convention, she may.
Sojourner Truth stood at the podium and looked out at the crowd. Then in powerful voice, she began to speak.
Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something something out of kilter. But what is this all about anyway? That man over there, he says women need to be helped into carriages, lifted into ditches, and had the best everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages, over my putters against me any best places. And ain't I a woman? Look at me, look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and have gathered into barns, and no man can heed me. And ain't I a woman? I can work and eat as much as a man when I can get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most of them sold into slavery. And when I cried out with a mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? That man over there, he talks about this thing in the head.
What they call it? Intellect.
That's it. What's intellect got to do with women's rights or black folks' rights? That man over there, he says women can't have as much as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Well, where did Christ come from? God and a woman. Men had nothing to do with it. I'm obliged to you for hearing me. Now, old Sir Jordan, hadn't got anything else to say.
Elizabeth K. Stanley, Lucretia Mott, Frederick Douglass, William Garrison, Francis Gage, and Sojourner Truth, and Susan Anthony are the very few people who worked hard and long for the women's rights.
Although they all wanted to improve the role of women, they didn't always agree on the best way to do it. They argued and debated, but still respected each other. Women didn't get the right to vote until 1919 when the 19th Amendment was added to the Constitution.
Hard just for a moment.
Yes. What this? Mr. Do we go hit him? Just hope he remembers to turn the lights on.
Okay, we have a little surprise for you. Some of you might, well, you know what, I'll just let it go. I'm not going to say anything. See anything?
No. You might have to stop it and start it.
You know, we practiced this and we had no problems.
You had an idea about it? You know how to do it? I just said he might have to close it down and start it back up again. Video.
Peter 1.
Those segments